Hello, and welcome to my home office. As you can see, it is not exactly, shall we say, the most ergonomic of setups, but luckily, the experts here at HRP can help me figure out how to make my home office setup a little bit more ergonomic, even on a tight budget like mine. But let's see what this setup actually looks like. So let's get that expert analysis now from our current ergonomics expert, Taylor Jones, in the South Carolina office. Taylor, thanks for joining us today. Can you give us just a really quick intro of yourself?
Absolutely. So my name is Taylor Jones. I'm a project consultant with HRP. I've been here about 2 years now. I do have a long experience before HRP with ergonomics as well.
Great. And you are going to help me today figure out how to improve the ergonomics on my home workstation.
So the very first thing that jumps out to me when it comes to the desk is the two different heights of the monitor and the laptop. Two of the things that you really want to consider when it comes to desk ergonomics is the static positions that you're going to be holding, and then also a lot of the repetitive movements. So when I see this taller monitor and a shorter desktop, I think that's going to be a lot of movement of your head back and forth. But then also the laptop is so much lower than the monitor. I would think that if you use your laptop for a good amount of time, you're going to be holding your neck down for a long period of time. And both of those could be issues when it comes to ergonomics.
What are some of the improvements you might suggest? Maybe some items that we could pick up and stay within this budget that we've set of about $100 to $200.
The stand would be a really great solution because it can raise your laptop. It is very adjustable. You can get it to the exact height that you're looking for. I also really like that you can have your phone there as well, because if you're looking down at your phone, if you absolutely need to while you're working, that can actually help you a lot as well. So you don't have to look down at your phone and then back up at your screen. I really like that. My favorite part is that it's adjustable. The problem with a lot of monitors is that they're not adjustable. So if you're using your laptop and your monitor, that makes it a lot easier to use both at the same time.
We'll throw that in the cart here. What would you next recommend?
The next thing that I notice is with the keyboard and the mouse, there's no wrist support going on here. A lot of times when people are at their desks for long periods of time, they're either using their mouse all day long or they're using their keyboard all day long. And the way that the keyboards and mouses that are designed these days are not ergonomically sound, because your wrist is kind of in this upward position all day long, and that's really bad for your wrist, especially over long periods of time. You really want all of your joints to be in a neutral position if you're going to be in a specific position for a long time.
So what about something like this memory foam wrist pad?
This memory foam wrist pad is a really good idea if you're using a mouse for a long period of time. That's because this will raise your wrist instead of having it up like this using your mouse. It'll raise it into a much more neutral position. Also, the memory foam is really comfortable, so you can't beat that.
Okay. Into the cart it goes.
Sure. So maybe you don't actually like those memory foam mouse pads. Some people don't really like the feel of them. There's another really great solution to this. It's called a vertical mouse. So a vertical mouse is exactly what you would think. It is up and down instead of side to side. So the buttons are actually on the side of the mouse, and you can keep your wrist in a much more neutral position like this instead of having it up like that.
Interesting. Looks cool too.
It's very nifty.
Yeah. All right. Hey, pretty good deal. Throw that in the cart. Okay, moving along. What do we have next?
If you were to be using a notebook, or you were to be transferring something from a paper into an Excel spreadsheet or into a Word document, you're going to have a really hard time with both repetitive movements and static positions, because you may be looking down and up from your notes to your computer or from your spreadsheet. So I think what we really need to do is fix where we can put those notes.
Okay, and I think to that end, we've got this a nifty little side clip for a computer monitor.
I've used these a lot, especially when I'm doing a lot of data logging from a printed piece of paper into an Excel spreadsheet. This makes it so much easier on you. When I used to not have this paper clip, I would actually have lots of neck problems after work you can imagine just looking down and looking up all day long. It's really hard on your neck. So having it right there, only having to move your neck a little bit back and forth is so much better than having to look down and up.
And hey, you can't beat $11. In the cart it goes.
They're also cheap.
I know, right?
It just goes right on the back of your laptop. It's perfect.
And I think for our last item, we were looking at a keyboard tray option. Now, I've used those in the past where they kind of just like mount up to the bottom of the desk. But I wasn't really thrilled about the idea of drilling holes into the desk, getting mounted properly. So what I found was this one that just C-clamps onto the bottom of the desk. What are your thoughts on this?
I have never seen one that C-clamps, so that's really cool.
Right.
Normally, I would experience these in the offices where they would, come out from underneath the desk, and they would be, of course, secured to the desk as well. So this is really nice that, it's removable. You don't have to, have a permanent solution. But this is really nice because if you have a desk where your monitors are a little too close for you, especially if you're going to be have a smaller desk where you're going to have some issues with eye strain, this is really nice because you can sit back a little bit, and this enables you to have your mouse, have your keyboard, the only things you really need right in front of you, but you can also extend that distance between you and the screens.
Awesome. Let's throw it in the cart there.
All right.
We are at only $130 for those significant improvements to ergonomics here.
Oh, budget.
Right?
I love it.
And while it was not quite in my budget, I did splurge on a desk and get it because I was going to get it anyway. So I just made sure that to take some ergonomic considerations into account for it.
Your eyes and your neck will thank you for it, for sure.
All right. Taylor, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And now the rest of us are going to go look at me, try to make sure this setup gets done correctly.
Well, I'm loving the new setup here and I'm ready to get to work. But if you still got questions about ergonomics in your home office, make sure to leave a comment down below and the experts here at HRP will get in touch. Thanks everybody. If you learned something from this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell on the bottom down for notifications, and we will see you in the next video. I don't know if I can get out.